All right, Gorilla Gang. We got the big one, not the little one. You did checking in. We got something different for y'all. So I don't know how long some of you guys been around, but maybe it's 2023. In 2021, I started one of my sayings: "Prison to passports." So if you don't know, I've been to prison. I've been to federal prison and state prison, TDC, Texas Department of Corrections. But yeah, so now for this month, I am dropping Felon To Phenom.
I've been around in your cities and states. I taking down on your biddies today. I want to crown for the busiest days. You just a clown with your minimum wage work.
Growing up, I'm from Houston, Texas, of course. I went to Lamar High School on a business program. From there, I graduated from West Side High School. I got kicked out of Lamar High School for starting a riot. That's what they say. So I went to West Side High School my senior year in high school. I started, dipping and dabbling, selling a little weed here and there. The manager, I worked at Joe's Crab Shack as a host, and the manager was the plug. So we had homecoming, prom. I went to 3 proms, and what else? Graduation, all back to back to back to back to back. So every weekend I sold out. I went to Houston Tilliston University. They call it the Black UT. I did not like it. It was small, so I had to up my grades to get out of there. So by the time I get to college in Austin, I'm like, hey, I need some extra money. From there, I went to Sam Houston State University, majored in business, minor in accounting, very good with numbers, no wonder. Oh, I want to take over Huntsville. I want to be the biggest dope boy Huntsville has ever seen. That was my mindset as a youngster. So, of course, I went there, and a lot of people can, attest to this. I did probably accomplish that. That's not to brag or boast, because you see where it got me, but I did. Yeah, so I wanted more. So on the weekends, me and my cousin, we would go out of the state. We would go to Alabama. We had connects in Alabama where we would, drop some stuff out for quadruple what we would sell it here for. So on the weekends, that's what we would do. And my girlfriend at the time, she would let me take her car. So we would bust down, because at the time I had a slab, boom, 84 swingers and bows, she did. So yeah, I would take her car. She had like a burgundy something. And I'll bust it down, put it in her panels, whatever type, whatever need be. Then I tore my ACL. So she was there for me, through the ER, the cast, all that. So my cousin, he like, hey, we gotta get this load off. Boom, bam, boom. So I get out the ER, she takes me to Houston. He has a rental car. I'm full of the drugs that the room, the hospital gave me. He gets a lime green rental car, and he has puff bars in his hair. I don't know none of this until we get pulled over by the police in Mississippi. Yeah, long story short, we got caught in Mississippi. The Escalades came and took me to jail, the feds. I went to jail in the Escalade, whatever that means. I don't know what we had, but I can tell you what the charge was. The charge was possession with intent to distribute over 5 kilos. So that's how they labeled it. But it wasn't what it was. They just labeled it as kilos. We both had artillery. One of his artilleries was stolen from a TSU police officer. Pills and money. So yes, fair charge, crossed 3 state lines, drugs, guns, and money. There is. Now you catch a case before you're 21, a major case at that. I had already caught small cases in Huntsville, but this was big, major. It took us a while to get a bond, almost a week. I don't want to lie, it was anywhere from a $40,000 to $100,000 bond. But we had to sit there a week to prove we were not a flight risk and that we were in college, blah, 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 blah. Come home on bond, go back to school at Sam Houston, get ready. I want to say I had a year before I took my prison stint. I just remember I had like a girl from Atlanta. So I went and stayed in Atlanta with her before I took my time. So I took my, stayed with her in Atlanta a couple weeks, couple months, some shit like that. Then she took me to Mississippi to take my time. I signed for 120 months, but if you break it down, It was 10 years, 3 to serve in-house, 7 post-release, meaning post-release supervision. So 3 to serve, behind bars. Yeah, we're not gonna get too X-rated, but when I signed for them 10 years, they gave me a recess, and I had never, what I'm saying, did the thing, you know what I'm talking about? So yeah, I was like, hey, shawty, we finna go back here to these woods, right? You know what I'm talking about? So I took it to the woods behind the jail, and I put on the hood of the car and spread it like west to east, you dig what I'm saying? And yeah, man, so yeah, that was my first time just going down there, because I signed 10 years. I'm like, man, I don't know when I'm gonna come home, so I need to taste what that tastes like, you dig? She was a little blazing chick, black and Asian. I didn't wash my face or my body for, Chris, I probably ain't washed my body for about 5-6 days, man. Don't cap, man. It just smells so good right there. You know what I'm talking about? Like, yeah, I ain't want to wash that off. Left that on there. So now I'm like, man, I got to get home, because that shit tastes good, man. You know what I'm talking about? So, yeah, man. So, yeah, I took my 10 years, went in like a G, turned around, seen baby at the time crying. That's what led me to prison, being greedy. So now as an older individual, I know, to taper the greediness. You don't have to be greedy. I was making more than enough money, but I wanted more. Went and got more. We successfully did the trip 3 times. This was our 4th trip, and we got pops. But I'll tell you more about that in part 2. Tune in for part 2. It'll be dropping in a few days.